Hey friends, it's Lyssa with Embellish in Watertown, Wisconsin. How are you guys doing today? It is a beautiful sunny day, but it's cold here in Wisconsin. Here at the, um, let's see, I guess we're still in the middle of April. We're getting towards the end, aren't we? Well, yeah, still cold here. Well, today I have the cutest project, if I do say so myself. It is a self-enclosed card, meaning it's all one piece, and it's kind of its own envelope and everything. So we'll just open it by pulling open the ribbon and opening up the envelope to reveal the card inside. Oh, this is funny, you guys. Look, I forgot to glue this down. You can tell this is hot off the press because I didn't even notice that that wasn't glued down. So let me put that down first. There you go. Project finished. Thanks for visiting. Oh, funny. Of all the things I would expect to go wrong on a live stamping presentation, that's not one of them. Anyway, the card is super cute though, am I right? And it's all self-contained and so fun. So let's learn how to make it. Cool. So what I'm using today, I'm going to close this just so it'll stay shut while we're working. What I'm using today is a new stamp set called Hearts and Hugs. And it is just stinking adorable. It's in the new catalog. And if you need one, this is what it looks like. So it may have come in the mail for you already. If you need one, just leave me a shout out in the comments and message me your address, and I'd be happy to send one to you at no extra cost. So very cool. Anyway, Hearts and Hugs, great stamp set. It does have dies that match it, but I chose not to get the dies because I figured mostly I'd be just stamping it straight on white, and if I needed to cut something out, I could do that without too much trouble. So sometimes I do skip the dies if I think I just really won't be using them all that much. So that brought this down to a very reasonable price. So that's the stamps that I'm using today, and then I'm going to be coloring with Stampin' Blends, which are alcohol-based markers. So I want to use a water-based ink. So I'm using Memento's Tuxedo Black. And then you need some circles, either nested circle dies like these. These are the deckled circles dies from Stampin' Up, or circle punches would work. You need some kind of ribbon to attach your little doojobby, and then of course fun things like rhinestones, or in my case sequins for some decorating. And 6x6 paper. I almost missed the best part. So in the new catalog there is a package of paper called Full of Life, and it is full of life. It's all watercoloring. Stripes, doodles, starbursts, spots, so fun. And then on the back side, I love that one especially. And then on the back side, it's all these cool watercolored backgrounds. So what this does is take your cards up a notch, because it looks like you did a technique like the baby wipe technique here, but you didn't even have to, because the paper did all the work for you. Isn't that cool? Oh, I love that one. Super pretty. So that's the Full of Life papers. They're going to be in the new catalog, which begins May 1st. And like I said, let me know if you need one. So I decided to use this piece of paper for my project, and it has cute watercolored, excuse me, polka dots on front and watercolored stripes on the back. So I chose which side I wanted for my front and back as a starting point. And then this is so easy. You're going to love it. So grab a piece of 6x6 and cut your neutral cardstock, basic white in my case. Cut it to 3.5 by 4.5. And that's the magic measurement here, because what we need is for this card piece to be big enough that we have plenty of space to write on, right? But also small enough that when we fold in the sides of our 6x6 paper, the whole thing is covered. So we want it to be a complete envelope when we're done folding the edges in. So 3.5 by 4.5 is that magic measurement. And as you'll notice, my piece wasn't glued in before, and that's because I would suggest not gluing it in until you're done folding, in case any of the folds go wrong. So grab a bone folder or something to give you good strong crisp folds, and you just want to center your 3.5 by 4.5 piece on your 6.5 inch pattern paper piece. So, and it does not have to be perfect. You can eyeball it just fine. So I'm going to hold that down while I grab the pattern paper and fold it around my cardstock. This is such a cute thing to do with pattern paper, you guys. You got to try this. I know sometimes it's hard to figure out what to do with 6 by 6. Well, this is a cute one. You won't regret doing this. Okay, so that 3.5 by 4.5 inch piece of cardstock is just right to be completely wrapped with our 6 by 6 paper. And we've got nice crisp folds, and it's perfect. All right, so we should be able to glue that down, no trouble at all. So cute from the back and the front. But before we glue it down, we should stamp it, right? We always should stamp before we adhere. So I'm going to use this little mouse from Hearts and Hugs and stamp him in the corner down here. So I still have plenty of room to write. Add some hearts. And I will color him later, but let's go ahead and finish the stamping while we're here. So for the front of our card, I'm going to stamp, I think this is a hamster. I want it to be a guinea pig so bad, but it's really not. This is pretty much a hamster. We need the hamster, and then we need our saying. And I don't know if you noticed this. Let me hold it up a little closer. Can you see how, here's the stamp. He's just got his arms spread out, right? It's all about hugs. The stamp set is all about hugs, and he's just ready for his hug. Well, I wanted him to hold the sign. And so we're going to stamp our sign on a little piece of paper. This is 3/4 of an inch by 1 3/4. And it just fits our sending birthday hugs sentiment. Whoa, it just fits if you get it straight. Oh, that was close. There's a reason I cut 2 of these, just in case I needed it, right? I guess I would stamp it on a larger piece and then cut it down to the right side. I'm going to try one more time, and if I don't get it perfect this time, we're just going to use one of the imperfect ones. Hey, that's not too bad. So yeah, you could definitely cut it on a bigger piece of paper and then cut it down. So, but we want his little hands to go on top of the sign, right? So we're taking him from this to that by just inking his hand and stamping that on the top of our sign. Isn't that stinking cute? Now you can do that trick on any critter that you have. Just take his little hands and put them on the piece of paper he will be holding. Isn't that cute? I just love it. All right, let's do all our coloring then while we've got all our stamping. And the coloring, I know some people don't like to color very much, but I found a good way to color without having to do a whole lot of shading and blending, and that is just to use the light crumb cake to just kind of outline our little, I want to call him a mouse, but he's not a mouse, is he? He's a hamster. Okay, we don't need to color the arms because that whole part there is going to be covered by the sign. So all we really need to do is color the face and the body. So I'm using light crumb cake and light petal pink, which is our very palest peach color. Aw, he's so cute. Oh, I did color his hands. Well, I didn't need to, right? Because I needed to color the hands that are on the sign rather than the hands that are on his body. There we go. Okay, and then one more thing I did to this little piece to help it stand out from his body in the background is just go with my petal pink blends marker and add a little border just very gently around the sign. so that would stand out a little bit. Ah, it's gonna be so cute. All right, let's put his sign on with some dimensionals. I've got mini dimensionals since we're working with little mice, teeny animals today. There we go. And I'm just going to position that sign so that it looks like he's holding it in front of himself. You can do it at an angle. You can do it up to where it's just his eyes are showing. You can put it way down. Like if I were to chop off his arms here, you could put the sign way down. We just don't want him to look like he has 4 arms. So I'm just going to cover that up there. Oh my word, he's too cute, isn't he? Okay, and then we'll do a little cutting. Like I said, there is dies for this, but you know, you gotta save a little money somewhere. And sometimes I will get the stamp set and just skip the dies. And cutting him out is not bad at all, especially if you've covered up a major portion of him with a little sign that he's holding. And you do not have to go in all those cute little divots with his fur. You just slice them right off. Nobody will notice that at all. But try not to cut his toes off, right? Whoops. Oh my word, so cute. I am going to be combing the stamper for other sayings that he can be holding in his little paws because I think that's adorable. So he will be our focal point here, but let's finish by coloring the inside of our card. So I've taken my darkest color here, which is the new Petunia Pop. Love that gorgeous orchidy, purpley, not quite pinky. It's just a beautiful color. Love that. That's brand new color this year. Oops. And then our little mousey has pink ears and a pink nose, pink feet. And then again with a light crumb cake, I'm just going to outline just to add a little color. He could be a plain white mouse too. That would save you time. But I like little brown house mice. But not in my kitchen. Anywhere but in my kitchen, right? We have an old house with a crumbly block wall basement, and we definitely get mice. Pretty much every winter we get mice, so we're used to them, and they are stinking cute, but yeah, not in my kitchen. Not in my kitchen. On my cards, sure. Oh, isn't that adorable? Okay. Now I've done this step twice, so you guys will remember it even better than I did, right? Glue this piece down, or leave it open if you want to surprise your recipient. And I'll just make sure it's in the right spot by folding those papers over again. It's so fun. It's so cute. All right, that's cute enough by itself, right? And then when we add our focal points, so I've got some of those deckled circles. And I wanted to see this background paper, which is also one of those full of life sheets, background paper. And I wanted to see it, so I skipped a layer in between here so that the border would be really wide around this. And then here's our little hamster guy. Cute. Oh, I did one thing wrong. I'm going to peel off these circles because we got to put our ribbon back there first. Oh dear. Now I've gone and done it. All right, so ribbon. I am using up scrap ribbon, so I'm going to have to use 2 pieces. Let's see. Well, back when I did this first one, I had these 2 separated. Oh, don't rip, don't rip, don't rip. Oh, okay, not bad, not bad. I had these 2 separated, so I used tear and tape, which is my favorite adhesive for ribbon, because it will not go anywhere. And that way I was able to put my ribbon on the back and kind of sandwich it in between my two circles. Okay, so you've got ribbon coming out both sides. Put that in the center so there's no way your ribbon will get lost or pulled out on accident. Then close your card up and leave the top panel on the top of all these corners that have come together here, because that's where you're going to adhere your focal point. So I'm putting some tear and tape down there. Again, you want to just use really strong adhesive, not Seal Plus. Maybe Seal would do it, but I would either use liquid glue or tear and tape, something strong, because this is only going to be attached by that top panel. Okay, so it's only attached there. Look at that. So this whole circle piece will hold all those corners of the envelope together, and then you can just close it by tying a cute little bow off to the side. And that's your card. Fun, fun, fun. So I called this a self-enclosed card. You could call it a self-envelope card maybe. But the idea is that the card is its own envelope, so you don't have to get a separate envelope for it. However, it does fit inside a regular medium envelope if you need to mail it. You might want to skip the dimensional dots because it is a little bit thick and puffy if you're going to send it through the mail. Otherwise, be sure to add an extra postage stamp to cover that. So what do you think, guys? Is that not the funnest little card? And I know you have 6x6 that you can use with this idea. So just remember the measurement is 3.5 by 4.5, and that will give you the folded over edges of the envelope. So fun. Well, I hope you enjoyed this today. If you would, leave me a comment, a share, or a like, a little thumbs up. I would really appreciate the feedback that you are enjoying these live presentations I do on Facebook every Wednesday at noon Central. So if I can help you with anything, please let me know. I have a free catalog offer going right now at embellishwithlyssa.com. And if you need Stampin' Up, it's lyssa.stampinup.net. All right. Looking forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching.